Phil, welcome.
Hello, Danielle.
Welcome to wrestling. Pro wrestling.
I'm familiar. We're in a ring here.
Yeah.
Now we're not in the ring.
We were in a ring. This is We'll Fight for Food Super Actual Sellout Game of the Hour. And in this game, you play as Jared.
That's a long name.
Yeah, it's a very long name. It's an adventure game where you play as Jared here, who is an ex-professional wrestler who was disgraced. He's now homeless, and he is sort of living his life. He wants to get revenge on somebody who sort of ruined his career in the ring, and that's sort of how the game begins.
Sure.
Only here, as we sort of begin the game in Woodville, we find out that this other pro wrestler, the Marine, he is also homeless and not doing so well. So,
sure. I'm familiar with the world of pro wrestling. A lot of times,
yes,
they end up out on the streets.
Well, this game has a lot of social commentary that it wears on its sleeve, basically.
So that's something I was going to ask. Is with the title, "We'll Fight for Food," and with the art style and everything, it looks like something where they could kind of be making light of the situation of homeless people. Is that the case? Do you get that sense, or is it more, as you say, like more actual social commentary?
It's a little more social commentary. It's very on the nose, certainly, but it's actually kind of funny, and it feels like it's coming from the right place. Like it's actually making fun of the corporations that run things like professional wrestling, or the corporations that sort of result in people being homeless. Now, here's a mechanic in the game.
It is punching up, in other words, not punching
It
up.
is definitely punching up. We'll Fight for Food is punching up, at least so far. I'm about an hour into the game, and most of the game has to do with sort of making decisions, having conversations. Here, this is a mechanic where you actually have to sort of persuade people, and so you read them, and you go with your body language and your opinion and your tone of voice in order to try to persuade people to do things. So that didn't work. His opinion of me decreased there, so now I'm going to go with a more aggressive option. I'm trying to get him to let my other homeless friend sort of just keep living there. Harsh, like a Reagan dominatrix, that's what he says.
Great.
And so that actually worked. So most of the game is making decisions and or sort of basically trying to persuade people to agree with your decisions. Which is pretty cool and actually works well.
That's different than what you'd expect from a game about, you said it was a game about a wrestler.
Yes.
Down on his luck wrestler. It's called We'll Fight for Food. I was expecting a little more punching, and this is not.
There will
be so far.
It's pretty great that you actually mentioned that. So here in this next scenario that we go to, we are in a forest. She's an ex-professional wrestler who is now, sort of. The story winds all over the place, but pretty much the entire story is about these ex-professional wrestlers and what they're trying to do to feed themselves and live their lives after being beat up, basically. So we're in the forest. She's a forest ranger now, and we're going to actually see a little bit of fighting. So there's a little bit of brawling in this game, as well as making decisions and trying to right wrongs and be a good person. Here we go. Here's some fighting action.
Whoa.
Once you put your mask on, you can then fight. I am fighting a bunch of guys in bear suits and one in a fox suit.
Oh boy, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Danielle,
the controls are not.
I'm gonna be honest with you here, because I've liked a lot of what you've shown me this game up to this point. The 3 minutes up to this point.
Yes.
This looks bad.
It's not the best. It's not the best. But it is actually always very quick.
Okay.
And you play the entire thing on a keyboard, basically. It's WASD to walk around and sort of make decisions and enter and mouse clicks and stuff. Your Z, X, and C buttons all correspond to an attack, like a shoulder attack, a punch, or a kick. It's not the best, and I think the developers knew it, so they kind of only put it in very sparingly. So in this game, which they call an RPG brawler, it's 99% RPG, 1% brawler.
And the RPG part of it is primarily conversations.
It's primarily conversations, and it really is more of an adventure game, because you really are kind of pointing and clicking. You have an inventory, you have a little notebook, you have a little map, things like that.
Is it
but most of the things that are happening are in conversation.
Is this out now?
This is out, I believe, today, as this video is going up. It is out today on Steam.
Great.
Pretty sure it's on Mac, PC, all that good stuff.
Well, if nothing
here
else,
we're in the Academy section.
Sure. If nothing else, it seems like it's trying some interesting things even if that brawling doesn't necessarily
It
look...
sure is. Here's some more brawling, in fact, if you weren't ready. I started getting a little better at this and sort of learning where to punch,
stiff.
where to kick. Oh, it's very stiff. Yeah, I mean, this is all happening sort of on a keyboard. But the game's writing is actually pretty strong, and strong enough to kind of get through these sections, and none of these sections are very difficult either. It's just kind of like, well, I guess it's about an ex-wrestler. I guess we have to make him able to punch and kick people, so
Sure.
there's
It's
that.
cool that it's worth checking out despite that, but it's too bad that is a part of it at all. It wasn't
Yeah,
very good.
this is not the, I think, the main draw of the game. But like I said, I think the writing is good enough to check it out. It's like a $5 game, so it probably won't break the bank either way. But the story is actually pretty good and pretty fun. So this has been We'll Fight for Food, Super Actual Sellout Game of the Hour.